This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss the architecture of Power BI. So what is the architecture of Power BI that we are going to discuss in today's session? Okay, so yeah, so to discuss about architecture, we need to understand what is the control flow of a Power BI reporting. Okay, from where exactly it is going to be started, and from, see, suppose I have different sources. I have coming my source data from different sources. Okay, so say I have a data source called SQL Server. I have a data source called Oracle. I have data source called Excel or CSV file or JSON or XML files. Okay, what happens if I'm getting the data from different data sources? Okay, so that we are going to discuss. So guys, is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yeah, fine. So whatever you're able to see, this is called as a data source. Okay, your data source from where I'm actually getting the data, right? So once we receive the data from data source, yes, okay, so this is something called as your Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop. So within the Power BI desktop, we have three things are there. Okay. So first, we are going to apply. Do we need any kind of transformations or? Okay. So I can say this as a ETL. So that means ETL stands for extraction, transformation, loading. As part of the first step of the Power BI desktop, extraction, transformation, and loading kind of activity is going to be performed first. So which is called as a ETL. Right. So I'm getting the data from multiple sources to my Power BI desktop. It can be, my source can be SQL Server, my source can be Excel file, my source can be JSON file, or my source can be anything. So once I receive the data from multiple different files to my Power BI desktop, within the Power BI desktop, we have different types of activities that we are going to perform here. Okay, so again, first let me open my Power BI desktop. Parallelly, let me show you how exactly your architecture of Power BI is going to be interconnected with your practical example. So for that, I'm just trying to open my Power BI desktop, right? Okay, so yesterday we have seen to design any dashboards. First, we need to have what are the tables from where you are going to pull the data to the reports. Okay, so first we need to connect to the SQL Server as a data source because I have my tables in my SQL Server. So I have to go to recent sources or get data or recent sources, select the SQL Server, select the SQL Server and select the adventure work. Guys, just a second. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Vinod, are you able to hear me?
Yes, fine, sir.
Okay. So once we connected to Power BI desktop, we are going to select the sample tables, right? So when I say sample tables, let me select any tables. So let me select dim customer table, dim date table, dim geography table, dim product table, dim product category table, and dim product subcategory table. Okay. Now let me take one fact internet sales table. Okay, click on load. Click on load. So yesterday we have discussed a complete story about what happens if I select import mode and what happens if I select direct query mode. I don't want to go in detail of that since we have already discussed. So click on OK. So what it will try to do, whatever the tables that you have selected, all the tables are going to be imported to the Power BI desktop. Okay. Perfect. Now your tables are ready. I mean, the tables are tables got imported to your Power BI desktop. Now go back to your architecture diagram. Where are you in terms of architecture? In terms of architecture, see, just now you have opened Power BI desktop and you have loaded or imported seven different tables to your Power BI desktop. So as we were discussing about the architecture part of Power BI, so this is architecture of Power BI. Okay, as part of discussing architecture, what is going to be the first phase? First phase is going to be the data source phase. So data source can be SQL Server, data source can be Oracle, data source can be Excel or CSV or XML or JSON file. It can be anything your data source can be. So first phase will be your data source phase, from where we are going to get the data to your Power BI desktop. Okay, Power BI desktop. So in terms of the practical examples that we are actually doing now, so I have just imported the tables to my Power BI desktop. So that means simple. What I did, like I have connected to the data, I have connected to the SQL Server as a data source, and after that I have selected the tables and I have imported the table. So in terms of architecture diagram, where are we in terms of? So we are at a stage one. That means a data stage, data source level. Okay, right. Now I have imported the table to my Power BI desktop. Internally, Power BI desktop will have three separate categorizations. Okay, internally it has three separate categorizations. What are those? So this is something called. So this is called your modeling. Okay, this is called your modeling. This is your ETL. This is your modeling. What exactly modeling? Second phase is, I mean, within the Power BI desktop, as I told you, there will be three different phases. First phase is ETL, then second phase is modeling, and third phase is reporting, visualizations. Okay, in terms of visualizations, in terms of that, okay, let it be. This is the kind of visualizations. Okay, so this is, I can say this is a visual. Where is that? Okay, so the third phase is visualization phase. So ETL phase, modeling phase, and visualization phase within the Power BI desktop. Now let me go back to my practical example. Okay, so I have imported the table, some sample tables to my Power BI desktop for some kind of reporting purpose. Perfect. Okay, so how can I say all the tables are loaded into your Power BI desktop? Right. Now what about these things? You're able to see left side three options. So this is model modeling option. This is a data pane option. So this is currently you're in the report design phase option. Okay, by default you'll be in the report design phase. If you want to see the data of the imported tables, you're going for data pane, and if you want to see the modeling for that, you're going to see the modeling phase. Okay, so that is a scenario here. Suppose if I go here, right now it is there. So if I go for data, so I want to see the data of dim customer. Select the dim customer. Suppose I want to see fact internet sales data. Select fact internet sales. So whatever the data you are able to see is something like this. Now, where are we in terms of that? Okay, so we have. So right now I don't have any transformations. I don't need any kind of transformations. So I don't need. I don't need any kind of ETL transformation for now. So then next is modeling phase. So that means I need to design a modeling. What do you mean by modeling? So basically, modeling is a place where you're going to maintain the relationship between the tables. Suppose in the project you have, say, 50 tables are there. So then all the 50 tables are all the 50 tables are all the 50 tables are going to be interrelated. Okay, so suppose వెళ్ళి బేటా సరే అది రావట్లే అయిపోయింది. Okay, so modeling is a place where we are going to establish a relationship between the tables. Okay, so what is a table? Suppose I have, this is something like employee table, this is my employee table, and this is my department table, and this is my product table, say product table, and this is my say project table. Okay, project table. So how your employee department table is interrelated, how your project is related, how your product table is related. So modeling will tells you the relationship between the tables. So that means we need to create a modeling. So how to create a modeling? That is a question. Now the next process is, once we have done this, we have to create a model. Where we have to create a model? We have a separate pane called model pane. If you click on this model pane, you will be able to see all modeling place. But did I created any model here? Did I created any model here now?
No, sir.
No. But who has created this? Who has created this?
Power BI.
Yes, your Power BI desktop will automatically taken care of your Power BI modeling. Okay, so it is, if you try to see what is the relationship between your fact table and dim customer table. So if you see this, see, this is a customer key. Okay, so based on the customer key, we are going to join dim customer table and fact internet sales table. What about the relationship between dim customer and customer sales? Just to try to highlight this. Okay, try to highlight this, so you will be able to see based on the dim geography key. Okay, so similar like this, date key, then product key. So based on the product key. So overall, if you see, what is modeling? Modeling is a place where you are going to have the complete relationship between the used tables. Okay, so that's it. But how and who is going to handle this modeling? Your Power BI desktop itself is going to create a modeling. So in terms of architecture, so where are we? We are at modeling area. So Go back to this. Once we receive the data from different sources to ETL. So next will be the control will goes to modeling. Okay, from there, once the modeling is ready, the next activity is creating the visualizations. The next activity is creating the visualization. So how to create a visualizations? Again, it's up to you. Suppose if you want to create some sample visualizations, you need to select a table. I told you yesterday, whenever you're trying to create any visualization or any report, x-axis, y-axis, i want to understand I want to understand, say, gender wise yearly income values. Gender wise yearly income values. Okay, I mean whether males are getting more yearly income or females are getting more yearly income. So how to design simple thing in Power BI? Simply, we have two options. First option, since I know some technical knowledge that gender column is available under dim customer table, but if I don't know, see, if you know the column, so then extract that particular table and go and search for that particular table. You will find the column here. So that is method one. You can select and drag and drop. Instead of that, Power BI has a Power BI has given a flexibility of global search. Simply, if you say just GEN, you will be able to see the gender. So just try to select and drag and drop in the axis. Axis means x-axis. Axis means x-axis. Okay, value means y-axis. You need to understand the yearly income, total yearly income, which is coming from again dim customer table. I'm going to put this under values tab. Right, my report is ready. I'm just trying to extracting this. I mean just increasing the size. Okay, suppose within the males I have single and married as well. So if you see here, okay, let me just try to do some basic modifications. Everything is going to be covered in the visualization part. Don't worry about that. I'm just trying to make the visual as colorful as, okay, as colorful as. So something like this. Okay, what else you can do? Go to x-axis. I'm not able to see that x-axis values. Just try to increase that. Okay, so like that you can do. Okay, right, this is the report that I have. So by looking at the visual, I can easily say that who is getting the more yearly income. Obviously males are getting more yearly income. How? You will be able to see the value as 535 5 billions, 5.35 billion dollars. So by looking at the visual, you will be able to see that. Suppose for the same visual also, suppose I want to see there is a marital status column. Okay, I want to place this marital status column under legend. What happens if I place that? So the result is going to be splitted based on the marital status. In the marital status we have two options. See, if you see here, you have two options. One is male and see, one is one is married and another one is single. So that means within the male, these are married and these are single, and within the female, okay, these are married, these are single. So again, if I want to categorize like this, you're going to add the column under legend. Legend is basically, it will try to break the result of your output. Okay, so like that you can able to design the report. So now again go back to your architectural diagram. So where are you in terms of Power BI architecture? So you are at this place. So you have passed this phase, completed this one, completed this one. Now you're at this place. What next? What is next? So the next is going to be, after creating, okay, if you go back to this, if you want to convert this to any other chart, select this visualization. Suppose I want to convert this to pie chart. So select the visual first, then go and click on pie chart. If you want to donut chat, go and click on donut chat. It is based on your requirement. You are going to design the reports. If you want like this bar charts, then if you want say clustered column charts, something like this, you can do whatever the manipulation that you want. Okay, but whatever it is, everything we are going to cover under visualization part. Don't worry about it. Okay, but yes, I have created this kind of report. Then what is next? So I have created this report. Whenever we are creating a report and we need to save this report, when I'm trying to save this report at somewhere in the desktop, suppose I'll say sample underscore visualization, any name I can give. See, try to see the extension for the reporting. It is dot pbix, dot pbix, dot pbix. Format will be .pbix. So that means Power BI expression format. So save this. So go to desktop. See, the same file has been saved, dot sample dot underscore VS. So the extension of Power BI file is .pbix, means Power BI expression file. Okay, right. Now I have saved this report. It is in my computer. What is going to be the next step as part of architecture? Okay, yes, I have created a report based on the customer requirement, and it is present in my, it is working as expected, and it is present in my local desktop. So what is next? So the next point is, after creating this report, whether you want to publish this to a cloud environment or or a report server, it is up to you and your requirement. So this is a Power BI cloud. And what about this? This is Power BI report server. Power BI report server. So after creating the visualization, if you want to send it to Power BI cloud, or you want to send this to your on-premises Power BI report server, it is depends on your situation. It is depends on your client situation. Sometimes client will say, I want to see this report on my cloud environment. Okay, here just let me give some basic understanding on what is cloud. Just basic understanding. So everyone heard about, what do you mean by, nowadays we are able to see something called as cloud computing. What do you mean by cloud computing? I can say in a simple terms, storage, manage, compute is called as your cloud computing. Storage, manage, and compute. Collection of these three things, I can call this as a cloud computing. So when I say cloud computing, in the market you have so many things. You have basically popularly things are AWS. This is a Amazon product, right? Amazon cloud product. Okay, so there is called GCP, called Google's cloud products, Google Cloud. And there is something called Azure, which is a product of Microsoft for cloud. What is the meaning of this? Simple thing. See, in my local system or in my organization, I don't have enough space to store my data in my organization. So what is the next alternative? There are two alternatives. Alternative one, you can increase your hard disk size, RAM size and hard disk size. That means you need to increase your system configurations, but that costs that is costing more. Then what is the next alternative? What I'll do, I'll try to keep my data in a place of others. Say, best example, Google Drive. Okay, so what we generally do in Google Drive, okay, so whatever the documents important that we feel, and whatever the documents and all, we are going to store the documents in the Google Drive, since it has a limitation of up to, initially they have given up to 25 GB space, but I think nowadays they are giving up to 15 GB space they are giving. What is Google Drive? Google Drive, Gmail. So that means you are storing your data in a other company's storage place. So where exactly you're, see, when you are going to store this data, where exactly it is going to store? In the Google Drive. So that means that company's physical centers will be there, data centers will be there. So there you are going to store the data. Okay, for storing and for managing, for computing, you are paying some charge. Say every month, say $2 or $3. I'm just paid, you need to pay that. See, if you talk about Google Drive, they are initially giving 15 GB space as a free space, but beyond that, if you're going for say 30 GB space, so definitely they're going to charge on a monthly basis. So that's how your cloud. So that means, simple term, let us not go in detail of that right now, because in the Azure sessions I'm going to explain in detail about that, but try to, overview of that, like, what is cloud actually? Cloud is something, it's a storage area where we are going to store the data, manage the data, and compute whatever the logic implementation that we require in a others place. Suppose if I'm going for Azure, I'm going to store the data in the Microsoft physical data centers. So that is called Azure Cloud. So if I'm going for AWS, see, right now in the market, so many competitors are there. AWS is there, GCP is there, Azure is there, some other cloud era related cloud is also is there. But most popularly, AWS, GCP, Azure people are following. And out of these three also, cloud is booming. Azure cloud is booming like anything. Okay, since it is a product of Microsoft, most of the people are going for Azure cloud based kind of technologies. That's about this. Okay, let us come back to our architecture again. Right, when I say I have created my report, now some clients will say, Santosh, you please keep your reports in the cloud environment. So if I want to keep the my reports under the cloud environment, what I actually need, I need a username password, a email ID password, or a Microsoft email ID password, or a Microsoft account ID password to log into your cloud account. Okay, similarly, just take an example of Gmail. If you have Gmail ID access username password, then only you will be able to access to your Google Drive. As similar as you will have to have Microsoft account ID. How to create a Microsoft account ID is everything we are going to discuss in the further coming sessions. Okay, right, I have created a Microsoft account ID for all of you, right? Okay, so now what next? So you are going to keep this report, in the Microsoft cloud environment, so that people across the globe, by sitting in any place, they can able to view the reports. So that is the use of cloud. What about Power BI report server? Power BI report server means within the company's premises, you want to keep your reports in a server. So then that is called as a Power BI report server. How are we going to move your report to your Power BI server? How are we going to move? How are we going to manage? How are we going to handle? Each and everything we are going to discuss when we are discussing about Power BI report server. Okay, so guys, till this point, are you clear, or do you have any questions? Surya, Vinod.
Sir, I missed the ETL part in the Power
No,
BI
no
desktop.
problem. You haven't missed anything. I have seen you. Just before that, I have opened a Power BI. I have extracted some sample tables to Power BI. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
ETL part for this example, we haven't done anything ETL part, extraction, transmission, loading. Okay. So other than this, are you clear, Surya?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I'm clear.
What
Yes.
about
Yes, sir.
Naveen,
Yes, sir.
Ravi,
Yes, sir.
Rupa? See, architecture is very, very important because each and every time, see, even if you create any report, the architecture will be same for all the reports. Okay. Now, right, you have created the report. Okay, you have published the report to either Power BI Cloud or Power BI Report Server. Who will decide whether you have to send this report for cloud or for report server? Your client will decide. See, again, if client have no budget constraint, he'll go for either cloud or report server. It depends on the client that he is going to do. Okay, right. Now, after this, what next? Final implementation is from which medium our users are going to see the reports. So there are three different types of mediums which from which we'll be able to see. We can see it from, say, uh, desktop. Okay, and we can view the reports from tabs. Also, we can view the reports from mobile app. Okay, mobile app. So either you can, whatever the report is there, you can view this either from desktop or laptop or from tab or from mobile app. For the same also, whatever the report that you have published to your report server, you can view from desktop or laptop or tab or from mobile applications. Final reports you can able to see either from your laptop or desktop or tab or mobile app, anywhere you can able to see. So this is the complete architecture diagram and complete architecture flow of a Power BI. Guys, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
This is a complete
Yes,
flow,
sir.
right? If you see here, so the same thing I have explained here. Okay, same thing. Okay, see our data source, then within the Power BI we have three things: extraction, transformation, loading. From there modeling will comes into the picture. From there we are going to design the reports. Once we are designed the reports, whether we want to send this report to Power BI Cloud or Power BI Report Server, it is something that client is going to be decided. Okay, so after publishing everything, so from which medium that user is going to see view this particular report. See, he can able to see the report from desktop or laptop or tablet or tab or mobile. So simple, in the mobile, go to Play Store, you can download Power BI mobile apps. So from there it is going to be, there is like, how nowadays we are going to digital transactions, right? Some QR code is going to be generated. So just need to scan this QR code, so then automatically you will be able to see the same report that you have been generated in your systems in the mobiles. So this is the complete architecture of Power BI. So here you are saying like, ETL. What do you mean by ETL? It can be anything. Transformations. Okay, it can be anything. Suppose, where are we going to do the transformations? Are we going to do the transformations in the Power BI Designer or in the Power Query Editor?
Very
Editor. So suppose when I say transformation, so simply you have to click on Edit Queries. Any kind of, say when I say transformation, it can be anything. Suppose I have it null values in this particular table, I don't want to display, simply right click and remove. This is a kind of transformation. Okay, suppose I want to say, where is that? Mm, I want to see, when I say transformation, it can be anything. Okay, it can be adding those two things, or it can be deleting specific values. Okay, so see, suppose I have a first name column. Okay, I'm pressing control and I'm pressing middle name. See, try to observe here. You have merge columns is there. What do you mean by merge columns? Merge means we have seen join. Suppose I have a requirement. I want to display on the report as a full name of the customer. But if you see in the table, you have first name, you have middle name, you have last name. So that means when I say full name, the combination of these three things is going to be treated as a full name. So this is something a requirement. For this, to implement this, you need to apply a transformation. What is the transformation? You are going to apply a merge column transformation. How are you going to apply? See, right now it is in the disable mode. Merge column option is in the disable mode. Suppose if I select first column name, merge column is disabled. I'm pressing control and I'm selecting middle name. Try to see, automatically it got enabled. So click here, okay. See, column name, merged column. Okay, so instead of merged column, you can give this as a full name. Okay, okay, full name. Do you want to give any separator? Suppose say column you want to give. Okay, press OK. See, now the column, full name column, try to see John colon V, it got merged. So this is a transformation. Guys, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, suppose I want to go back. So simply click here into month. Okay, now you are in the same stage. Suppose select this. Right now it is disabled, merge column is disabled. Press Ctrl and select middle name, it is enabled. Press Ctrl and select last name, enabled. Simply click on merge columns. Okay, this time give, say, equal sign, say equal sign in between first name, last name, and you can say full underscore name and click OK. See, first name, full underscore name, first name John equal to V equal to Yang. It depends on your situation. Suppose I don't want to give equal to, I just want to just give space. So how to do that? Again, modify. Simply you have to come here and click on this setting symbol or gear icon. Just double click on this, you will be able to see. And suppose instead of that, if you want to say comma, click on comma, automatically it is going to. Now again, go to here, give some space. Tab means 5 spaces. See, so it is all based on your requirement. You're going to do some kind of modifications. So anything will be treated as your transformation. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry, guys. So are you clear with the kind of transformations? See, what do you mean by ETL? Extraction, transformation, and loading. So let me go back here. So ETL stands for extraction, transformation, loading. Extraction, extracting the tables. That means once you imported the tables by connecting to the SQL Server to Power BI report, that is your applied extraction. Okay, extraction and loading. Extracted and loaded into your Power BI desktop. Okay, right. After that, you have converted the complete data to full name or anything unwanted thing. So you have applied some kind of transformation. Anything can be a transformation. Suppose you want to delete a specific column, this is also a kind of transformation. So this is called as your ETL transformation. Once your ETL transformations are completed, So then you're going to design the report on top of the transformed data in the Power BI designer. So that's where your Power BI desktops comes into the picture. So is this clear now, Surya? Any questions?
Yes, sir. Now clear. No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So since it is the architecture which is very, very important, so this complete flow, let me just summarize this complete flow in 1 or 2 minutes. See, first, we'll receive the data from data sources. Your data source can be anything. Your data source can be data SQL Server, it can be Oracle, it can be a CSV file, it can be a TXT file, it can be a JSON file, it can be XML file. Anything, any format is there of your data source that is going to be transferred to your Power BI desktop. Within the Power BI desktop, we have three operations are there. Initially, it will extract the data, transformation if required, and load the data into your Power BI desktop. Okay, so that is the first phase of Power BI desktop. After doing this, Power BI, in the Power BI, we have to implement the modeling. We are not going to supposed to do the modeling. Power BI automatically create the modeling between the tables based on your selections. What is the relation between this table and this table, based on which column the relation is based on, and everything is going to be covered under modeling. So once the modeling is over, finally you're going to design the reports based on the requirement, whether you want to go for a pie chart, or whether you want to go for a donut chart, or whether you want to go for a stacked bar chart, stacked column chart. Any kind of chart that you're going to do, you're going to implement. After creating this, you are going to save this as a .pbix file. Now you have your pbix report file is ready with you. Now after that, whether you want to publish this report to your Power BI cloud or Power BI report server, it is up to the client's requirement. What is cloud? Cloud computing means storage, manage, and compute. Okay, so we are keeping our reports in the premises of Microsoft cloud, and for that we are paying some amount to the Microsoft person. For each email ID, we are trying to spend some money, because of we are storing and we are managing and we are computing. So that is called as Power BI cloud. So after that, in the Power BI report server, we are going to publish the same report into the local on premises of the company premises, not on the cloud, company premises. So after everything is done, so finally, whether you want to view this report, either can be from the desktop, can be from the tab, or can be from the mobile app. Simply, you need to install Power BI in your mobiles. In the Play Store, just try to type Power BI mobile apps. Okay, just try to install it and try to scan it. Automatically, whatever the report that you have designed in your local machine will be able to view in the mobile applications. So this is the complete flow of a Power BI reporting. Any questions, guys?
So why modeling is important? I mean,
Obviously, see, modeling is very, very important. Suppose if you don't know, if you don't create any modeling, you don't create any modeling. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. See, if you go to modeling, you want to understand. Okay, suppose in dim customer table, you have first name column, you have last name column. Okay, so I think just now I've converted, right? See, now in the model, automatically first name last name column got removed and it got displayed as a full name, because just now we have applied a transformation, right? So you have a full name for this particular customer. What is the sales amount? Sales amount is present in the next other table. See, sales amount present in the fact internet sales table, customer name is present in the customer table. I want to understand for this customer, what is the sales amount, what is the sales amount for 2010, 2011, something like that. So if you don't have the relationship between these two tables, is it possible to retrieve the data from the fact internet sales table? It is not at all possible. Not at all possible. So that's where modeling is very, very important. Most of the I'm telling you, 95% you are not going to be taken care of modeling, but there are certain areas wherein you are going to customize the modeling, existing modeling. But that is also I'm going to cover how to customize the model, how to create a model, how to establish the link, how to delete the link. Everything we are going to discuss as part of modeling activity. Okay.
Okay, sir. So why
Okay.
only one, two parts is getting a highlight when we click on that?
Where in the modeling?
Yeah.
Obviously, see when you click on this, it means what is the common column in between these two tables based on which the relation has been established. So suppose if I'm double clicking on this, okay, if I'm double clicking on this, see here you will be able to see it's in a single direction, and also see which column is highlighted. So this is highlighted, this is highlighted. So that means it is a symbolic representation between the two tables, that based on which column the tables has been joined in the model. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Suppose if you see this table, dim date table, okay, suppose if you see for this three relations are there, that means you can join these two tables based on three columns. One is due date key, second one is order date key, third one is ship date key. Okay, three times. Okay, but at a time only one active join condition will be there. We are going to discuss separately about this in the modeling session. Okay,
Yes, sir. Okay.
any questions, guys? Ravi, Rupa,
No, sir.
Naveen,
No, sir. Still no. No, sir.
okay,
Clear.
Vinod.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay, what? Okay, thanks, Ravi. Yeah, that's all for today. So if you don't have anything, so since we have discussed the complete architecture part, just try to what you can do, you need to just try to logically think, and you need to understand the flow of complete Power BI reporting. Okay, in the interview they will ask, if they ask you will be able to explain all these things. Okay, so just try to you register this architecture in your minds, so that when you're reporting, you always need to recollect, okay, we have extracted, we have transformed, we have designed the report, what next? So like that you need to correlate. Okay, guys,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, so that's all for today. So what about tomorrow?